Hey.
Welcome back, or hello. My name is Brie. This is my dear Havanese pistachio. A lot of you, the doggy doorbell. A lot of you probably found me from the first video I made, which was basically a recap of Pistachio's first year. And when I go back and look at that video, I realize like we're kind of overdue for an update because her first year, a lot has changed since then. Pistachio is almost 2.5 years old, and I was shocked at the differences between her at 1 year versus her at 2 years. So I thought it'd be cool to make a video talking about what life is like with her in her terrible twos, except, spoiler alert, they're not terrible. They're actually really great. They're a lot of what I remember having an adult dog growing up. Like, they're pretty sweet. So let's talk about Miss Pistachio's second year of life with us. One of the biggest differences in Pistachio's first year to her now at 2.5 is that she's lost some of her social confidence. I've seen this happen with a lot of my family's dogs too. Like, puppies can be very outgoing and innocent, and then as they get older, they can decide to be a little bit more skeptical of strangers, which I tried so hard to avoid because I loved my little social butterfly Pistachio puppy. But I think it's also just like a survival tool that all adults have, you know, it's being a little wary of strangers. And nothing has happened traumatic to Pistachio that would make her suddenly reject all strangers. She's had a pretty cushy life, but we've definitely seen her become much more cautious when meeting new people. When people see a cute little dog out in public, if you have a little dog, you probably know they're very quick to want to just pet her without necessarily asking, and Pistachio is pretty scared of that. So they will get her shrinking back, they will get her barking at them and backing up and everything. And I think kind of rightfully so, right? Like when a human that you don't know tries to touch your face, like I'd back up too. But she definitely needs more time to warm up to people, and typically she warms up pretty fast when she has time with them. And the main way to do that is just if someone sits on the floor and lets her come to them, maybe initiates some play, she's very quick to accept people like that. She just really doesn't like people coming at her from above, especially if they're tall, and especially if they're a man. Pistachio's a little sexist. She has developed a fear of men in the last year, I'd probably say. It's very strange because she has a lot of positive male role models in her life. Like, my husband is her second parent and she adores him. She loves my dad. She loves Ben's dad. She has uncles and like lots of male family members that she feels very safe around. And any male friend that we have who's been around for a while, she does tend to trust and like, but it's the new guys that she's skeptical about. There's a distinct difference when we have a group over with how she approaches a stranger who's a female. Like, she's much quicker to get into the play rhythm with them. But with men, she will bark at quite a bit now. It's like a fear thing, but she'll bark and not want to be touched for a while. It can be like a half hour to an hour if there's a guy in our house. And I always feel so bad because like the guys can do all the same things that the girls do to try to become friends with her, and it just takes a lot more time. So that's definitely changed. She still loves other dogs. She's very socially confident with other dogs, and this is something I wanted really badly for her that I'm so glad has stuck around because I just think it's really fun. Of all of the Havanese in our family, when we're out on walks, she is the most eager to meet other dogs and also the most like respectful of other dogs. She's not too pushy with them. She bounces off their social energy really well and usually matches it. Her least favorite dogs are the ones who don't want to play with her. She's never aggressive with them. She just will be annoying. She'll just get in their face and try to get them to play. She just wants to play. Her favorite dogs are the ones who want to play and who chase her. And it's been fun in the last 2 years. We've seen her even interact with some bigger dogs that we trust. And she'll play with them too. She might be a little bit like, "Are you a horse?" at first. And then she'll adjust pretty quickly to be like, "Oh no, you're just big fun instead of little fun." My dear friend just adopted a retriever and lab mix who's just a little bit bigger than Pistachio right now because it's a puppy. And we're doing an experiment of having them play together. This dog is such a softie. Pistachio bullies him so much. I feel bad. But we just want to see if they start with him small playing together, if he can grow into a bigger dog who can adjust his level of play for a small dog, just because we don't want her to get clobbered, you know? So we're going to keep an eye on that and monitor it closely, but it'll be cool to see if she has a big bestie soon. Something I've seen the last 2 years is Pistachio going from a dog who is confused by child behavior and baby behavior to a dog that is much more comfortable with it and can predict it. And that just comes from the fact that we had a baby in the last year. She used to see like babies, you know, twitch or a toddler run sporadically, and like that would be very triggering for her play reflex. She would always want to play with them, and I'd be like, they're little, they don't want to play. And now that Nora's almost a year old, Pistachio has really gotten used to those things. Like, it's amazing seeing how Nora can be down on the ground, like crawling around, and Pistachio, without seemingly paying attention, can just move out of the way. Like, she just knows when she's going to move towards her. So our unwanted interactions with them are very few and far in between. But then when Nora hangs out with like my family's dogs that aren't used to babies, they will just lay in the way of destruction. And I'm like, please move for your own good. But Pistachio's gotten really good with predicting baby and toddler behavior, so she can get out of the way better and not think everything is about her. Everything's about play. And that makes me happy because, you know, I want Nora to be able to have friends over one day and like Pistachio not be annoying, not be chasing everybody and jumping on everybody. She still does that a little bit with the older kids, but I'm very hopeful as Nora gets older, all those things are going to be desensitized out, because already with babies, she doesn't really care anymore. So once we have more of a toddler, I think that'll get out of her system mostly, and she'll learn how to navigate them better. What are you doing? Stop it. One of the most interesting things that's happened from year 1 to year 2 is now at 2.5, Pistachio sleeps so much more. Not in an alarming way, in a way that reminds me of the dogs I had growing up. Something that I was sort of like shocked by in my first year with Pistachio, of how it felt like she was always on the move and I could never match her level of energy. Now we have like that dog that's just like an adult dog. Like, they like to leisure a lot of the day. She often is on like the back of our couch looking out the window, just sleeping, or sleeping on her favorite pillow over here. And if I'm not home and the sitter is with Nora, she'll go sleep in her crate upstairs. And like, she's learned how to sleep when she can't be occupied. And at first I interpret that as like, oh, we're boring her, I feel so bad. And then I realized, like, she's a dog. This is what dogs do for a lot of their day. This is what wolves in the wild do for a lot of their day. If they're not, you know, putting their energy into hunting or play, then they're sleeping. She has continued to be really adaptable with our routines. So even though when the baby arrived, we did see a regression. This is super common when you have any big change in your life when you have a dog. She had a month maybe of accidents when Nora arrived. Super common, but it was discouraging. I could just tell that she was thrown off by her routine. She would start putting herself to bed in her crate at 9 o'clock, even though we were up much later, and it just like felt like she was confused. Like, she wasn't sure what we were doing and she was trying to make up the rules on her own. So that was hard to watch, but now like she's definitely found her rhythm with our new life. Like right now the baby's sleeping and like I know she knows it's nap time, because she becomes much more like, hi mommy, during the times that the baby's asleep. And she's not shocked now every time I go up to the nursery and close the door, because she knows, like, well, she doesn't know, but like I'm either feeding the baby or I'm putting the baby down. In the very beginning she'd be like, you're closing the door, you're closing me out. And now she's like, nah, mom will be back. And when the baby's awake, she kind of just like knows the rhythm we're gonna do. She's even learned to like stay up higher to get away from the baby if she wants to rest, but a lot of the time she'll be on the floor with the baby and just kind of exploring with Nora. They have a really great relationship. Nora will play with Pistachio now, and Pistachio sometimes plays back, probably 50% of the time. Most of the time she's like, you're not as much fun to play with as mom. They have a great relationship, but I wouldn't call them besties. I didn't need them to be besties, and I think my goal has worked out really well because both of them have been safe. We have had no dangerous incidents between the two of them in this first year, and that was so high priority for me. We haven't had any instances of Nora seriously hurting Pistachio. Don't get me wrong, Pistachio gets bonked on the head every now and then. But even now at a year, Pistachio's barely been grabbed by Nora because we prevented that so much that Nora doesn't really think of it as an option. And we have just reaffirmed Pistachio every time the baby's done something jarring, that Pistachio, even though she can be a sassy lady sometimes when she's being touched in a way she doesn't like to be touched, she has never hurt Nora before. She's never reacted in a way that was seriously concerning, and I'm really thankful for that. Pistachio's also started looking forward to certain routines in our day that are like her and mommy time or her and mommy and daddy time. So one of them is I work part-time now with my daytime job, and we have a sitter here during that time. So every single morning, Pistachio is very excited when I open the basement door because she knows that means I'm going down to work, and Pistachio comes with me consistently. And she'll either sleep on the chair behind me or she wants to sit right on my lap. And that reminds me of our first year, you know, that reminds me of her as a puppy, or that's just what we did together. So it feels like some nostalgic puppy behavior and just a reminder that She likes having me all to herself. It's really sweet. She also loves bedtime. Like, she's always loved bedtime, but now, like, when she gets to go upstairs with me and Ben and just sit on the bed and still chew her brown bone, and I let her out of her crate when I go to feed the baby in the morning while Ben sleeps a little bit more, and she'll come onto the bed and just cuddle up with Ben. It's so cute. I'll come in there and she just pops her head up and her fur is all like from just cuddling with him. So she loves those moments. Her play preferences have changed too now at 2 years old. She used to like to tug a lot more than she does now. She's really not much of a tugger. Like, her soft toys she's not as into, but you better believe her ball, her orange ball, she loves. She loves all balls, but that orange ball is still the #1 toy. And she still loves to play fetch more than anything, especially in wide open spaces. She still likes to de-stuff things, so like that's what she would like with a soft toy, but she doesn't really bring us soft toys anymore to like tug around. She'd rather play with a ball. Speaking of playing fetch in wide open spaces, y'all, this is the best thing that has happened since Pistachio turned 2. She is so much better off leash. She's become clingier at 2 years old, hence some of the like stranger danger, but with that came her not running away from us like she used to. She used to just be an adventure seeker where if there was somewhere to go that wasn't even exciting, she would go. She didn't care if we were with her or not. Now she wants to be where the family is. And this has been such a good change. So that means when we go on a vacation somewhere there isn't a fence, I don't have to be as anxious as I used to be about her running away. She really cares about where the family is and she can figure out perimeters much better, and she listens well. She has really good recall, and when I tell her, hey, like, come back over here, she's kind of given up on thinking that she can outrun me. The first year she'd be like, I bet I can get away from this lady. And now it's kind of lost its fun. So she's just like, okay, I'll come back. And if I pretend I'm about to leave, she will come back. She knows all of those cues. One really fun thing is that we've been able to start letting her into the driveway when we come home, like when we're unloading groceries, and that used to be a huge no-no because it's right by the street. And we do this safely. You know, if there was for some reason a lot of traffic, we wouldn't do it, but like we live in a residential area, there's not any fast traffic. But she has never failed us with running out of our yard. Like when we come home, she's so excited that she comes out with us to get groceries and then comes back inside the house and comes back out with us to get another bag and comes back inside the house. And she just listens really, really well with that. So that feels nostalgic too for what I remember about having a family dog growing up. A dog that just like comes outside with you when you get home and then goes back in. So overall, at 2 years old, Pistachio has become more clingier, a better listener, more in tune with our routine and our communication. It takes a lot less effort to get her to listen. She's still very socially confident with other dogs, loves other dogs. She is more nervous around new people, but she does warm up eventually. Her energy levels have gone down and she likes to sleep more. She is still our baby. She's still our firstborn. And in a lot of ways, she's taken care of me this first year becoming a mom. And I really love her for that. So I am loving dog parenting in year 2. I had heard a lot that like dogs fully mature around like 3 years old, like from that teenage energy onward. So like the fact that we're already here at year 2, I'm very curious what year 3 will be like. But like she has felt more like just a good old family dog in this year of life. Less work, so much less work, oh my gosh. And more just like a companion in our home. And I look forward to many more years to come with our little family member. Thanks for watching. Bye.